Hello and welcome everyone to Movies You Missed podcast and our very special Princess episode. I'm Vee.
I'm John.
And today we're going the Disney route. Now, we couldn't have said that several years ago because your pick is now officially a Disney product, but it wasn't always.
No, it was not.
And I like that we're doing one live action movie and one animated movie.
Yeah, pretty cool little combination of two movies.
So we hope you are excited as we are to get into our two movies today. And thank you all so much for joining us here once again. And if you're newer to our podcast, we are V and John, who love to recommend movies to you without spoiling them, especially movies that we feel have been forgotten or are generally underrated.
I feel like both of these picks this week are on the underrated side and not necessarily forgotten, because when I talk to a lot of people about my pick, they seem to have the same reaction. And I don't really talk about your pick very often, but not to say that I don't enjoy it. We'll get into that shortly. But they're two movies that certainly need revisiting.
I agree with that part. However, my movie was so successful and highly rated, there was a sequel.
That's true, there was. Not sure how you could... Well, actually, they're kind of... No, there wasn't. There was a weird character spin-off sequel of mine, but not the namesake of my pick this week.
So we're going to get into those movies in just a minute. But John, I'm curious, now that we're into December, are you getting excited for our couple of Christmas weeks coming up?
Oh, you know I am. Christmas is my favorite time of year next to Halloween.
Which is funny you say that considering you have a Santa tattoo and not a Halloween tattoo.
I have technically 3 Halloween tattoos.
Oh, your horror leg. That's true.
Yes, my horror leg.
Which is a funny term.
It is. Want to see my horror leg? It's a lot of fun.
It is. It looked like it hurt.
Not at all, actually. You'd be surprised. I've also got plenty of tattoos to where it's not even a painful thing anymore. It's more of a stress reliever.
Yeah, I'm sure that tattoo studio knows you by name at this point.
Oh, yeah. My wife and myself.
But this is a Disney episode, so we shouldn't be advocating for tattoos, I think, on this one.
Well, I would disagree with that because I have a Disney tattoo. Actually, 2 of them.
You do?
And there's going to be plenty more.
No, I meant just in case children were listening.
Oh, yeah.
But I have been looking forward to getting into this week's episode because we love doing Disney movies, of course, but I feel like we don't do them as often as we could. A lot of times we use these episodes as palate cleansers. And so every month or couple months when we have a Disney-themed episode come up, I'm always really happy with it.
As am I.
Now next week we should do a rated R hardcore. Let's talk about 7 next week.
Yeah,
just go the other
there
extreme.
we go. Perfect.
No, that's not what we're doing next week. Stay tuned to the end of the episode and we'll tell you. So I think it's time to start talking about the movies we picked, and because this is an odd episode, you go first.
All right, let's do it.
Which also means that we're going in chronological order this week.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, mine came out before yours by, about 4 or 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it. Here we go down the Don Bluth and Gary Goldman rabbit hole again. I believe this is my 3rd Don Bluth directed film, animated style anyway. He directed the animation in Pete's Dragon, I did Secret of NIMH, and now this one.
And this certainly won't be the last because there are several more Don Bluth movies that we're going to cover here.
Yes, there absolutely are.
Most of them giving us childhood trauma.
Yes. This one, not so much, even though there are a couple of freaky moments, but nothing as terrifying as All Dogs Go to Heaven or Secret of NIMH, in my opinion.
Or The Land Before Time, which is just devastating.
Oh, right. Yes, Land Before Time. Yeah.
No, thank you for picking a more uplifting Don Bluth movie. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's jump into it. This film comes to us from 1997. This film is based off of kind of the real life of the namesake of the movie, but not really. This is more of a fairy tale version of it, definitely a more family-friendly version of this film and this story. The Romanovs were unfortunately assassinated in 1918 due to the Russian Revolution. So this movie takes place in 1918 and fast forwards 10 years after that. The animation adaptation was done by Eric Tuckner. The screenplay is written by Susan Gauthier, Bruce Graham, and Bob Zudiker. Screenplay is also based off of another adaptation by Arthur Lawrence. This is directed by Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. This film is titled Anastasia. Anastasia is chock full of voice acting talent. Meg Ryan, John Cusack, Kelsey Grammer, Christopher Lloyd, Hank Azaria, Bernadette Peters, and Angela Lansbury. My family and I went down to downtown LA to see this movie because my father was very adamant about seeing this on a much bigger screen than any of the screens that were available in Palmdale, California. Because we grew up being not only a Disney family, but definitely a Don Bluth family. Like you mentioned, Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, An American Tale, and American Tale 5 Goes West. We also have Secret of Nim. So all those movies were in rotation at my house along with Disney movies as well.
Same.
Oh, wonderful. The story of Anastasia in this telling is, again, about Anastasia and the unfortunate demise that befalls the Romanovs, but it's not as graphic and as brutal. Basically, we are introduced to Rasputin, played by Christopher Lloyd. He puts a curse on the family because the Tsar of Russia has decided that Rasputin, due to his mysticism and his black magic, is really no longer allowed to be a confidant and an advisor to the Romanov family. So what does Rasputin do? He throws a curse upon the Romanov family against Nicholas II, his wife Alexander, and their daughters. One thing leads to another, and the Russian Revolution begins to take place. So during this Russian Revolution, the Romanovs are very unfortunately murdered, and Anastasia and her grandmother are able to get away from this potential assassination. Dmitri, a young boy that works in the kitchen, actually helps Anastasia and her grandmother escape. While Anastasia and her grandmother are trying to get on a train to get out of Russia, unfortunately, Anastasia does not make it on the train, and we learn very early on that she's also 8 years old. So after this unfortunate trauma befalls Anastasia, we fast forward 10 years later into Soviet Russia, and all the townsfolk of St. Petersburg are very enthusiastically singing a song called Have You Heard? There's a rumor in St. Petersburg that Anastasia actually might be alive. During this really fantastic animated musical sequence, we meet Dmitri and we meet Vladimir. Dmitri is voiced by John Cusack, and Vladimir is voiced wonderfully by Kelsey Grammer.
Mm-hmm.
We come to find out that Dmitri and Vladimir are trying to find a young girl to pass off as Anastasia to Anastasia's grandmother, who's still looking for her granddaughter that she unfortunately left behind during this whole raid. And what do? They hold auditions, just like any other type of movie. And I like the fact that in this movie, it's not like a 5-minute sequence of them auditioning different girls. There's literally one that they see, and you can just tell based off of not only the audition that this young lady puts on for Dmitri and Vlad, these guys are just completely tired out, and they are about to give up on the fact that they just cannot find anybody that resembles or can pass off as Anastasia. We end up meeting Anya, who is now leaving her orphanage. She's been told that she has a job. She's going to go work at a fish market. And Anya is very adamant about either she goes to the fish market to work or she goes to St. Petersburg, because something is pulling her towards St. Petersburg. She has this locket around her neck that says Together in Paris that was given to her, as we see in the movie early on, by her grandmother, but due to the trauma that she experienced as a very young child, she has no memory of who her family used to be. So she is standing around at the bus stop, if you will, and starts yelling into the sky like anybody else would, "Send me a sign." Of course, what's the sign? An adorable little puppy named Puka. And Puka decides to steal her scarf and lead her in the direction of St. Petersburg. So she decides that this is the time and this is the sign that she's been looking for. And we get this wonderful song called Journey to the Past. I love this sequence. I love this song, especially the end with the final crescendo of the song and camera panning up over her and the city of St. Petersburg, completely aglow, completely in gold. And I think that's more of a fantasy thing for Anya more than the audience to just see, like, hopefully she's about to find something that she's really been looking for the last 10 years of her life.
And that's not Meg Ryan singing, right?
That is not Meg Ryan,
Okay.
no. That is a singer named Liz Calloway. Just like any other Disney movie, they found a great singing voice to match the speaking voice.
That's why I had to ask.
Yeah. There is one song later on in the movie where Meg Ryan kind of sings, but it's still Liz Calloway doing it. It's well, we'll get into that maybe later on. I don't want to get too deep into a lot of the songs because I personally really like just about every song in this movie.
It was my favorite part of the movie.
The songs?
Yes. They're great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're magnificent. Especially this first one, Journey to the Past. I absolutely love Have You Heard? There's a rumor in St. Petersburg as well, but Journey to the Past is just, it's wonderful. I'm getting chills just thinking about it now. I cried a lot during this rewatch.
Aw.
I have not watched Anastasia in maybe 7 years. It's been a while for me.
Okay.
So I was very happy to revisit it. So after this song, Journey to the Past, she gets to the train station. She's now in St. Petersburg, and this locket on her neck says Together in Paris, so she's going to try and get to Paris. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any travel papers. Now, this is Soviet Russia, very similar situation in World War I and World War II. You need travel papers to get across borders. You need et cetera, et cetera. Anya can't figure out a way to get to Paris, but this older woman in the train station tells her that she's got to find Dmitri. He lives in the old palace, and you didn't hear it from me. I actually watched this movie twice in 24 hours because it was one of those experiences that I had to watch it again because it was so great again. And I feel like this old woman is definitely a fairy tale creature, if you will, that's just kind of pushing Anya in the direction of Dmitri.
Oh, okay.
Because we never see her again after that, almost like a fairy godmother, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
So Anya makes her way to the old palace and is trying to find Dmitri, and everything has been left behind from this raid 10 years ago. Nothing has been taken. All of the artwork is still up. All of the china and decanters and everything are just under cobwebs and spiderwebs and dust. And she looks at a plate and has a very brief memory of this music box that her grandmother gave her, which sang the lullaby Once Upon a December. So after she has this memory about this music box, she breaks into another magnitude of a song called Once Upon a December, and I started crying again when all of the artwork came to life.
Yes, that was so beautiful.
I completely forgot about that sequence, and it just grabbed me so damn hard. And the song is so beautiful, it's so operatic, and Liz Calloway's voice just cuts straight to your soul. It's just magnificent. And after the song is over, Dmitri and Vlad find her and try and explain to her that maybe she is Anastasia, because, of course, there is a lot of the paintings left over. There is a family portrait of the Tsar of Russia, including her as a very young child, and she's got the eyes, she's got the face. Vladimir is even like, my gosh, you might even be able to pass off as this woman. And little does Anya know, but there is a big cash reward that is available for whomever might actually bring Anastasia to her grandmother. 10 million rubles. So Anya decides that maybe she is the Duchess Anastasia, but what she wants to do is get to Paris, so she decides to team up with these two guys, Dmitri and Vlad, to go to Paris and pass herself off as the lost Duchess Anastasia. But Anya also does not know that Dmitri and Vlad are in this really for the 10 million rubles and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So after Dmitri and Vlad and Anya decide they're going to work as a team, we are introduced to Bartok, who is this little white bat that was Rasputin's little sidekick, voiced fantastically by Hank Azaria.
Mm-hmm.
And Rasputin has been banished to a limbo purgatory, the dark realm, if you will, because not only has his curse not been fulfilled, he is now aware that his curse has not been fulfilled and that Anya is still alive. Therefore, Anya is actually Anastasia, and Anya could be that lost piece of the bloodline that could reestablish the Romanovs in the monarchy of Russia. And for the rest of the movie, we are along for the ride while Anya learns how to become a lady, because this is a very Cinderella-esque version of Anastasia. And she's got to learn how to walk correctly, speak correctly, drink her tea properly. And there's a great song with that, too. If I can learn to do it, you can learn to do it. How to ride a horse, how to, etc. It's just great. And Rasputin is now trying to get back to the surface level to enact his murderous rage on Anya/Anastasia so that the curse can be fulfilled and the Romanovs can be completely wiped out. And we are treated to absolutely breathtaking animation. Of course, there's a lot of CGI animation in this, but it's so realistic that I'll never forget my dad and I watching this movie, and the exterior shot of the train blew us out of the water. Mm-hmm. It was like they literally just shot a train and added animated characters to it. And other than being blown away by the beauty of the train animation, that whole bit leads into a really kick-ass action sequence in this movie.
It really is, and I love the thing at the train tracks over the bridge that comes to life. It kind of reminded me of Nexus in Ferngully.
Yeah, it reminded me of that, and it reminded me of the demon sequence in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, oh,
being Don
God,
Bluth.
I'd block that from my memory until this moment. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
That episode is going to rip us apart. Really
yes,
looking forward to it. We're probably going to do it in February.
Music is great. Not only the songs, the score is stunning, and it's got a lot of very, very funny moments, including with Bartok. It's just got a lot of heart, it's got a lot of soul, and like I said, it brings me to tears. I haven't watched it in about 7 years. I have a VHS copy of it. I watched that first, and then I watched it on streaming on Disney Plus so I could watch it with my big Bose sound system because I needed to hear that music on a louder level. And I am so excited to bring this movie to the podcast because I have so much fascinating BTS that actually is more involved in the actual story of Anastasia than the actual production of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So I love this movie. I don't really know anybody who doesn't unless I'm about to be completely crushed. But V, I'm curious what your rewatch was and when you saw Anastasia the last time.
Never.
Oh, that's right. You had never seen Anastasia.
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, this was your first time. All right. Well, be gentle.
I absolutely loved the music and the animation. Gorgeous on both fronts. It certainly was a feast for the eyes and the ears. I was very
Yes.
happy about that. And I really liked the story, especially because I'd much prefer the sweet animated version of this story than the real life
Oh, yeah.
history of what happened to the Romanov family, including all of their children.
All of them.
And there was a recent article I was reading about them. I don't know why it had come back up, but they had written about exactly how the Romanovs were treated during the revolution and being subject to a vengeful mob is never a recipe for success. And so it's a very unfortunate story. Kidding yourself with this movie is a lot more fun, I promise.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. If you don't know anything about the Romanovs, just watch this movie and think that's how it went.
Yep, and never go on Wikipedia ever.
Never. Oh.
So yes, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I thought it was so nice to have Angela Lansbury back voicing any character in an animated film after Beauty and the Beast. Made me really happy. She was perfect for the role. I was impressed by John Cusack. I didn't know that he would be that good of a voice actor, and he absolutely was.
Yeah, he was great.
Hank was great. I love little animal sidekicks. He totally reminded me of Batty, but also Hades' sidekicks in Hercules and a couple other ones. It's definitely an amalgamation of different animal characters that you've seen over the years in animated films. And of course, Hank Azaria crushed it, because how many voices has he done on The Simpsons over the last couple decades, right? He's gotten a lot of practice, and he's great and quite talented. And same with a live action movie. He was great in The Birdcage, my pick a couple months ago. And so I really loved him. I loved all the animation around Rasputin as well. Those green demons were so cool.
Yeah, they were.
Very creepy, would have scared 10-year-old me, but not so much that I would say it's too scary for kids. It's not.
Right.
So I really like how they towed the line there, because his scenes are really intense, especially when he's in purgatory.
Oh yeah, and he's falling apart. I love the line Bartok's like, "Well, for somebody that's falling apart, you look pretty good."
Yeah, I love that line too. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I felt like, for me personally, it was missing something. It didn't hit me in my soul the way a lot of animated movies do that we really love together.
Sure.
I wonder if it's just because I'm watching it for the first time now versus when I was a kid.
Right. That's entirely possible. It's a big nostalgia piece for me.
And so for me, I felt like the story, it just felt very straightforward.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is okay.
No, it absolutely did. Yeah.
But it didn't feel, even though it takes place in St. Petersburg and they travel through Europe and there's lots of background, like you said, the whole town starts to sing, it didn't feel as, I guess, expansive is the word. I'm looking for a word that...
Grandiose, maybe?
Yes, it didn't feel as grand. Thank you. That's exactly the word I'm looking for. It didn't feel as grand to me. It felt very straightforward, and so it didn't hit me in the feels the way I was hoping it would, the way so many other animated movies do. But that's not to say it's a bad movie. I did really like it. I will absolutely listen to this soundtrack a lot.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I thought everybody did a great job with voice acting, including Meg Ryan. That was an interesting choice, and it totally worked.
Yes,
and
big time.
The animation is gorgeous. I loved the scene when the paintings come to life as well. So
yeah.
Overall, I'd give this animated movie a solid B+. Definitely recommend it to others. I think my niece Ainsley would love it.
I actually, after watching it, I'm like, I want to sit down and watch this with my nieces while we're in Cancun. I think they would really like it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So hopefully I'll get that opportunity.
I hope so too, because I'm really happy that you introduced me to it. So thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you had a good time with it. It's, like I said, I saw it in theaters when it first came out. After that, my parents got my sister and I the VHS, and my sister and I would always fight over who's going to watch it in their room on a night. You know, it's like, oh, I want to watch Anastasia. And like, no, I want to. And like, oh, we can watch it together. And so my sister and I watched Anastasia a lot when we were growing up. Now, granted, I was about 12 and a half when it came out. I was about to be 13. Beyond the animation and just the story, it was so fascinating. And of course, the internet was not a thing like it is today. So I didn't really know anything about the Romanovs until, I want to say I was maybe like 20 years old. I just decided one day like to Google Anastasia, and I read a little bit of Wikipedia and I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that actually, she was a real person. Like, there's a moment where her grandmother in a section of the movie is holding a portrait of her. That is an actual portrait of the real Anastasia.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty wild. And then I, after watching this movie, did my own research, and
Bet you regretted
breaking.
Bet you regretted that.
Oh man, Amy, my wife, she has known more about it than I have over the last several years, and she was giving me a lot of information about it when I finished it the second time. And that's when I decided to go on Wikipedia and just Google and look. I looked at so many different portraits of her as a child and just read about how she actually was very much a prankster in her younger years, and her grandmother and her father, like just everything is just so fascinating. But the fact that she met her demise the way she did is, it's just horrible. And it's out of control to think that during a revolution like that, and I even asked my wife, I was like, were the Romanovs like a good people, you know? And she was like, oh, they were really well respected. They were very loved. But the Russian Revolution, of course, you know, there's another side to everything, and that's the unfortunate reality. So, like V and I have said, if you have never seen Anastasia, stick with the Don Bluth version. You will not be as upset as you would be reading what actually happened to the Romanovs. So let's get into a little bit of the BTS of not just the real Anastasia, but a couple of things that I really am excited to talk about. Now, a lot of the music is great. Liz Calloway sings for Anastasia. Kelsey Grammer does his own singing, which is awesome.
That's impressive.
Very impressive. And the song that Rasputin sings, In the Dark of the Night, Christopher Lloyd voices Rasputin.
Yeah, they probably should have gotten a singer for him, though.
Well, you know what's interesting is they did get a singer for Rasputin.
Ooh.
It is not Christopher Lloyd. You know who it is?
Who?
It's Jim Cummings.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Jim
Cummings
sounded
just like him.
Sounded
just
ridiculously
like
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, totally.
Wow.
That was pretty wild. So a couple of things based off of fact in this movie. The music box that Anastasia is given as a child by her grandmother was based on a real music box that her grandmother gave her when she was 13 years old. The real Anastasia also wore a dress exactly like the one that Anya/Anastasia wears towards the end of the movie.
Okay.
And Vladimir, the character that Kelsey Grammer voices, is based off of Count Vladimir Fredericks. He was Tsar Nicholas II's chief court minister, and he ended up staying in Russia after the revolution and wearing his court minister's robe in protest of what happened to the Romanovs.
I'm impressed he was safe after the revolution.
Yes, yes.
I mean, look, I understand having a revolution to overthrow a government that isn't treating its people well, but I will draw a hard line when it comes to killing an entire family.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Rasputin's character is based off of Grigory Yefimovich Rasputin, who was the... Oh, so you know about this guy?
Oh, yeah, he was a creep and a half.
Yes, he was. He was considered a mystic, but he was the Romanovs' advisor and did tell the Tsar that there was a possible assassination looming on the Romanovs.
Yeah, diving into Rasputin's history is a very interesting rabbit hole if you ever have the time.
And that's the thing, you know, that's another interesting thing about this movie. And we've done a couple based on true story movies here. And we're definitely saying stay away from it if you want to keep this version of Anastasia in your life as the happy-go-lucky, sweet version of it. But if you're a history buff like V and myself, absolutely read up on it. It's fascinating while also twisted, and it's a piece of history that I certainly feel should be passed down to people. I mean, it's not something I learned in elementary school in history. I didn't learn it in any of my high school classes. So it's interesting over this last 20, almost 30 years now that I just knew almost nothing about the entire Romanov family and what had happened to them.
Well, then when you're diving into it, you'll get to find out what happened to Rasputin's body.
Yes, they actually allude to it in the animated version.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. This version of Anastasia was actually very well received in Russia. Russia was very happy with the liberties that were taken on the movie, saying that it is a very beautifully told story and a wonderful fairy tale for family members.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying.
That's exactly what we've been saying. And I like the fact that Russia wasn't offended by the movie. You know, so many other countries would be like, ban that thing! That is so inaccurate! But most of Russia was completely all right with the movie and really still praised the movie to this day.
Well, especially because the Russian people were portrayed like humans.
Yeah, that's very true too. Yeah,
and most Western movies do not portray Russians in that light. They're usually gangsters or terrorists. I'm thinking of Air Force One or The Saint, right? And so
right.
Actually portraying Die Hard is German.
Oh, that's right, he's German.
But actually portraying Russians as just communal people. They're all singing in the square. It's a nice portrayal of Russians.
Yeah, it is. Dmitri is actually based off of Leonid Ivanovich Seidnin. He was a kitchen boy at the palace and was spared during the Russian Revolution, as was his uncle who he worked with. And Dmitri was sent off to live with family members.
That'd be funny if he was sent to Paris.
That would be pretty wild. And another thing about this movie is 10 years after what had happened to the Romanovs, this whole thing of Dmitri and Vlad trying to pass off other girls as Anastasia, they weren't the only ones.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a rumor that Anastasia was in fact alive, and there was a young woman that for almost a full decade and a half was able to convince people that she was in fact Anastasia.
Yeah, it reminds me of a couple of the stories in the United States where a child is kidnapped and then a couple years later somebody comes in and is like, I'm your son.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That reminds me of that movie, The Changeling.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I have.
Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, and Angelina Jolie. Amy's a big fan of that one. She's asked me several times to watch it. We just haven't gotten around to it yet. We got to check it out.
Yeah.
Peter O'Toole was considered the first choice to play Rasputin in this movie.
Yeah.
Would have been really cool.
So perfect, that voice.
Yes. He actually did play Rasputin in another movie that was based off of the Romanov tragedy. But the reason why Christopher Lloyd was cast was because Back to the Future was so popular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know it's several years later, but you think about an animated movie, the inception of them starts so much earlier. So 1997 being the release year, the movie had been in production for several years.
Well, and he has a very recognizable voice. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Martin Short was considered to play Bartok.
Totally see it. Yep.
Yeah. And a couple other actors that were in consideration for Rasputin, Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Pryce, and our good buddy Tim Curry.
Tim Curry would have been perfect.
Yeah, Tim Curry would have been pretty badass.
Patrick Stewart's too eloquent.
I agree, yeah. Especially for the way they animate him in this movie. I don't know if...
He needed a gravelly voice.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why I think Lloyd worked out so much better. Lacey Chabert, if you know her by name, she is one of the Mean Girls. She is in the terrible rendition of Lost in Space with William Hurt. And Gary Oldman.
She's Gretchen Wiener from the Mean Girls.
Oh, okay. I don't know her name in the movie. But she actually sings for young Anastasia in this movie.
Oh, nice.
And Kirsten Dunst does the dialogue of young Anastasia in this
I
movie.
saw that in the credits. It was so cute.
I liked the way they did the credits. I thought the end credits were really cool, the way they showed the characters and who played them. Instead of showing the actual actor, I liked that they had the animation behind it.
Yeah, similar to The Sting, actually, a couple weeks ago. I didn't mention this, but they showed each actor and their character name at the very beginning of the movie, and I really liked that.
There's the ballet that Anya, Dmitri, and Vlad go to try and meet up with the grandmother trying to find her granddaughter. V, I wonder if you could tell what the ballet was.
I didn't, actually. What was it?
It was Cinderella.
That's very fitting.
Yeah. There's a quick scene where the opening of the ballet starts with a young lady sweeping on the stage. And there's another shot where there's a pink, green, like a fairy godmother sort of thing, which is kind of more Sleeping Beauty, but either way, it was Cinderella for this movie.
Well, it's perfect considering you picked a live-action version of Cinderella just a couple weeks ago.
I know. Now, Don Bluth and Gary Goldman, we've mentioned the movies before. This kind of blew me away because I would have thought that all of Don Bluth's movies were as successful as the last one, but apparently this movie was his first highest-grossing film and first financially successful film since the release of All Dogs Go to Heaven in 1989.
Without the backing of Disney's marketing arm, I could see how that could be a challenge.
Oh, well, interesting you mentioned marketing. I was going to save that, but now that you brought it up, let's get into the marketing of this movie.
Oh, okay.
$50 million budget to market this movie. Yeah. They used promotion. Yeah, the promotional budget went to Burger King, Dole Foods, Hershey, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and Shell gas stations.
Because nothing says children like big oil.
Absolutely. And that $50 million exceeded...
$50 million?
$50 million! That $50 million for the promotional budget of Anastasia exceeded a movie from 1997 by 35%. And that film was a pick of mine, I want to say 2 years ago now, with Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman.
No way. No way. Because I was thinking of all the 97 movies you've picked, and that includes Titanic, and all of them were big budget movies. And I was like, there's no way that Anastasia was more than any of these.
Anastasia was more of a promotional budget than Independence Day by 35%.
That's wild.
I think the reason for that was because of who was in Independence Day.
They didn't need to market it as much?
I think that's what it was, because you got Kelsey Grammer in this movie, Frasier, and Cheers. You got Meg Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle. You've got Males About to Come Out, When Harry Met Sally, Hank Azaria, The Simpsons. He was also... And he and John Cusack, the same year, would come out with Grosse Pointe Blank, another past pick of mine.
Yes.
And Angela Lansbury and Bernadette Peters, which Bernadette Peters, I think she was in. Was she the one in Roxanne? Or am I thinking of a different Steve Martin movie?
You're thinking of a different Steve Martin movie, and she's way more famous in theater.
Yes, she is. Yeah. And I didn't know that she would be so good at doing a French accent.
Yeah.
That was really, her character, Sophie, cracks me up. Apparently, Bernadette Peters, when she saw the movie, was not happy with the way that Sophie was drawn, but I thought it was kind of, I didn't mind it. And I love Vlad's whole love story with her is very cute. And gosh, there are some moments with Vlad that are so hilarious. And there's a lot of them are so minimalistic. There's a scene where he and Dimitri are eating dinner. It's right after the Once Upon a December song. And they cut to Dimitri and Vlad, and Dimitri's like, "Did you hear something?" And Vlad's like, "No," and he keeps eating, but he takes a bite and stops and just like has this like euphoric smile of like just enjoying his food. Makes me laugh every time. And then he and Puka just becoming like the best of friends. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Who is this dog?" I love all of that. It's so damn funny. This was the first Bluth and Goldman film to be fully animated and produced in the United States since An American Tail.
Oh, wow. I wonder where they normally produced it and animated it outside of the US.
I want to say either Australia or France, and I'm only saying both of those because Disney would outsource a lot to Paris, especially for a Goofy movie and several other animated movies.
Okay.
But I couldn't find the actual specs on that. And Don Bluth and Gary Goldman were very adamant about getting this shot in CinemaScope because they really wanted it to explode on the screen. And it certainly does. And I got to be honest, it would be awesome if there was a re-release theatrically of Anastasia. I would immediately go.
Oh, yeah. It's a gorgeous film.
It really is. The world premiere of Anastasia was in New York City, 1997, on my wife's birthday of November 14th.
Aw.
Yeah. It was released worldwide November 21st. Budget for the movie, what do you think, V?
Well, does it include the $50 million of marketing?
No, it does not.
$35 million.
You are off by $15 million, a $50 million budget movie.
Oh, I thought you said the marketing was more. It was the same then. Got it.
Yes, $50 million budget for Anastasia. Domestically, it brought in $58.4. Worldwide, it brought in $139.8 million.
Oof.
Yeah, didn't do great, but again, it is one of those movies that did so much better on VHS and when it was shown on television. This was the first animated movie from 20th Century Fox Animation Division.
Oh, very cool.
And as you said earlier, my pick this week, Anastasia, was purchased by Disney through 20th Century Fox. Anastasia is now considered a Disney princess to all of us that love this movie. Highest grossing film of 1997, we know because we've done it here before, Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
This film came in at number 32. This film was also nominated for 2 Oscars, original song, Journey to the Past, and original music.
Nice.
So that is Anastasia, my pick for this week. Love the movie. V, so glad that you enjoyed it as well. Currently streaming on Disney+. If you have not seen it, watch it. It's magnificent.
Thank you again so much for introducing me to this film. I'm really glad I've watched it now.
As am I. And now I think it's time to go to a made-up country and hang out with a couple of cool cats.
We're in San Francisco most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. V, what do you say? You ready to go to, what is it, Genovia or something like that?
Genovia, yes.
All right.
We're staying in the Bay Area this week since John covered The Birds last week.
Ha yeah.
Because I chose the 2001 live-action Disney movie, Disney from the Beginning.
Yes.
A movie adapted by a wonderful series of books. Well, 12 of them, in fact.
Whoa, good Lord.
I had no idea that Meg Cabot had written 12 novels on this series.
Wow, I didn't even know that either.
I am talking about the Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews starring The Princess Diaries.
All right, let's add a tiara.
I actually only watched these movies, the original that I'm covering this week, and the sequel, just in the last 6 or 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And I introduced my nieces to them over COVID. I was very happy with that. And they really enjoyed them too, which is great. These movies are not musicals, but they still have good music.
Yeah.
Even though Anne Hathaway, we know she can sing.
Yes, indeed.
And this was her very first movie ever.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, and this is the second movie of hers that we've covered because you picked Interstellar a couple months ago.
Yes.
She's also in a really underrated rom-com called Love and Other Drugs with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I have never seen it, and the only reason was because I had my animosity of Jake Gyllenhaal. Now I got to watch that one.
Yeah, now that you like him.
Yeah.
She's also in Get Smart, which I like and you don't. Les Mis.
Yeah.
Ocean's 8, which I love that movie.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain, and The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, and The Dark Knight
sequel.
Rises.
Oh, yes. But they're also making a sequel to The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, they are.
Not sure
I
about
guess
that yet.
we need it. I don't know.
We'll see. But back to The Princess Diaries. This movie
Yes.
is about Mia. She's a very awkward teenager of a single mother who's an artist. Did you recognize who that mom was?
You know, I did when Amy and I watched it last, and now I'm drawing a blank. It's not the girl from Weeds, is it?
No, it's Caroline Goodall, who was the mom in Hook.
Oh, okay.
Married
yeah, no,
to
I
Robin
wouldn't have
Williams.
Put that together.
Yeah.
Got it.
She's also Oscar Schindler's wife in Schindler's List.
Oh, wow. Huh. I would not have guessed that one at all.
Yeah, she's been in some pretty solid movies.
Definitely.
So her and her mom live in a sweet converted fire station. Oh, I'm so jealous as a kid. I always thought having a fireman's pole to get out of your
Oh, yeah.
bedroom
that was
would have
really
been
sweet.
so cool. I have thought that ever since I saw the original Ghostbusters.
Hell yeah.
And so she and her mom are living their lives in San Francisco, and she goes to a private school. And she has no relationship with her father, and she's very awkward. She is in desperate need of a makeover. She has very frizzy hair, huge bushy eyebrows, glasses, and she's just awkward. She's always tripping everywhere, and she's very invisible in school. She reminds me a lot of Olive Pendergast in Easy A.
Oh, yeah.
One day, right before Mia is supposed to turn 16, a limousine appears at her house, and it turns out it's her grandmother, played by Julie Andrews.
Who else?
What a dream to have a long-lost grandmother show up and it be Julie.
Oh, that would be...
She's a dame,
Mary
right?
Poppins! She is a dame,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
Dame Julie Andrews.
Not only was she in Mary Poppins, but she's also in Sound of Music and does great voice work because she's the queen in Shrek 2.
Oh, okay.
She's the narrator in Enchanted, which was
Oh,
one of your
yeah.
previous picks, and the show Bridgerton.
Oh, does she narrate Bridgerton?
Mm-hmm. She's
Oh, cool. I've never
Lady
seen
Whistlestone.
that show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have no idea who that is. But that's cool. I know
The
my
narrator
wife is a
of Bridgerton.
major Bridgerton. Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yes, your wife and I watch Bridgerton doing watch parties together whenever there's a new season.
Do you really? Well, that's adorable.
Every week you find more and more examples of your wife and I's friendship behind your back. It's great.
Yeah.
But Julie Andrews comes in and plays not only Mia's grandmother, but it turns out Queen Clarice Rinaldi from the country of Genovia.
I love saying Genovia. Like, no, I don't know if there is Angela Lansbury is certainly elegant, as is so many other actresses, but there's something about Julie Andrews. I'm a big Thoroughly Modern Millie fan. I remember when Amy and I watched that the first time, I was like, this is actually really adorable. Of course, when we were doing Mary Poppins, she was My Fair Lady, so she's awesome.
She's certainly feistier in Mary Poppins, but she just has this elegance that she exudes. It's like she's floating on a cloud.
Exactly.
There are only a couple other actresses I could think of who could ever be in competition with Julie Andrews for roles. Maybe Audrey Hepburn, maybe Grace Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, Julie Andrews is the queen. And
She is one of a kind.
proven that in this movie. And so it turns out that Mia's long-lost father, who she does not have a relationship with, was actually a prince of Genovia. And when he and Mia's mother were together, he actually considered giving up his crown, abdicating the throne in order to stay with her mother and help raise Mia out of the limelight, out of the pressures of being royalty. But he decided what was best for his country was to actually stay as a prince. And unfortunately, he has recently died, so there is no one else in the line of Rinaldis to take up the throne.
Yeah.
And so Queen Clarice is there to ask Mia if she can announce herself as princess, accept her title, and work towards and learn the ropes of taking over the monarchy of Genovia when the time is right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mia has some pretty reasonable responses to this situation. First and foremost, she's pissed at her mom for lying to her for 15 years of her life. Fair.
Yep.
And she's also completely overwhelmed by this situation and admits that she's an awkward teenager. She doesn't know anything. She'll embarrass everyone. You really don't want me. And I get it. I would feel the same exact way, especially because I was a very awkward teen too.
Yeah, if that ever were to come down on me, I don't know. At that age anyway. Now, I'd be bad.
Oh, yeah. Sign me up, put the crown on my head. Sweet.
Let's do it. Get me out of here.
So Queen Clarice and Mia's mother try to make her a deal and say, okay, the queen is going to be in town for a couple weeks. It's coming up on your birthday. How about we give you princess lessons for the next couple weeks, and you decide on your birthday what you're going to do. You're going to either abdicate the throne, which means the Rinaldi line is going to be dead, basically. Figuratively, not literally, like your movie.
Right.
Or you turn 16, you accept your title, and you actually move to Genovia.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it's probably good if you don't tell anyone, because this will be a humongous story in the press, and all of your classmates are going to treat you differently.
Oh, yeah.
So she tries to keep this a secret for most of the movie. She does, except with telling her best friend, which I get. But otherwise, Mia continues to go to school and then afterwards goes to the consulate for Genovia and gets princess lessons. And that includes a major makeover.
Yeah.
This is where we meet not only Hector Elizondo, who's playing Joe, the Queen's bodyguard, and now Mia's bodyguard and driver. He's very recognizable. We've actually discussed him in the past because he's in the Book of Life as a voice actor.
Oh, that's right.
He plays the father, Carlos Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
He is also in Pretty Woman as the hotel manager.
Oh.
He helps out Julia Roberts. It's very adorable.
Oh, I don't remember that. I've only seen Pretty Woman one time.
Okay. But he appears in most of Gary Marshall's films, who directed this movie. Hector is also in Runaway Bride. He plays Richard Gere's friend. And he has a very small bit part in the movie Overboard as the fisherman who rescues Goldie Hawn, and he's the one with the crazy accent.
That's right.
He gets interviewed by the local news.
Yeah. That's right. I remember that.
And not only do we have Hector Elizondo, but we also have Larry Miller.
Yes.
Larry Miller was also in a lot of Gary Marshall's movies, including Pretty Woman as one of the managers of the store that she goes shopping in. But he also has appeared in a lot of Christopher Guest movies.
Oh, yes, he most certainly has.
Because he's in A Mighty Wind and Best in Show. He's also in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But
oh, cool.
I will always remember him as the father in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And the Dean Richmond in The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy.
Never saw it.
Oh, my gosh. That's right. I think I remember this part now, and I think it's on my list.
But Larry Miller in this movie plays Paolo, who... Only Paolo can take this and give you a princess.
Yeah.
And he does.
I remember that part from the trailer big time.
And there's Nicholas Hoult and David Cornsweet do reenact that scene for the behind the scenes in Superman this year, and it's hilarious.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna send that YouTube video to you. It's amazing.
My gosh. I gotta see that. Yeah, please do send me that.
It's so good. There are so many great behind the scenes videos with the two of them. Superman this year.
That is hilarious.
Oh, it's great. I've seen it multiple times because it's so good.
I think my favorite line in the whole makeover is when he's like, you know the cucumbers? They do absolutely nothing. And he eats them. I'll always remember that part from the first time I saw this movie.
Mine is, well, you break my brush, I break your glasses.
Yeah. That's right. He's trying to brush her hair and it is not happening.
No. And that is fake hair.
Oh, is it really? Okay, that was a wig?
Most of it were extensions, yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
And she also had... Well, first of all, the hairpiece became known as the Beast on set, which is great.
Bring in the Beast!
And her eyebrows took over an hour to apply because each tiny hair was individually glued on.
Whoa!
Yeah. So I bet she was stoked when they finally got to filming the makeover scene when she didn't have to put those damn eyebrows on every day.
Oh, hell yeah. So I assume they shot this somewhat chronologically then.
I think it would probably be broken up by halves. So
yeah.
The first half of her pre-makeover and then doing a bunch of scenes at the school and then a bunch of scenes at her house and et cetera, et cetera. And then post-makeover, same, where they're grouping shooting days based on location because there were a lot of locations within San Francisco for this movie.
Man.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So now that she's gotten this makeover, she spends the next 2 weeks going through princess classes, but also starting to get a lot more attention from her classmates, including Mandy Moore, who's a total bully.
Big time.
She's bitchy and awful like she was in Saved.
Oh, yes, absolutely. She's really good at those types of characters.
She really is, and that's what ran through my mind when I was watching this movie this week, because I was like, God, why are you so good at being a bitch?
And then, of course, she's, she can 180 and be an absolute sweetheart.
Yes, absolutely. Another one of her classmates is played by Eric Von Denton. He plays Josh, the popular kid in school, who Mia has always had a crush on. He is the voice of Sid in the Toy Story movies.
Wow. Sid grew up.
He certainly did, yeah.
I remember watching this, actually, Amy and I watched this on our last Disney cruise, and we'll get into it. I'm sorry, I don't want to jump too far ahead. But I remember turning to Amy and being like, that hair is ridiculous. Not Anne Hathaway's, his hair. She's like, oh, that was the hairstyle back then. I'm like, I am so glad I did not succumb to doing my hair like that.
That's the Leonardo hairstyle.
Yeah.
Split
I don't. It
part
wouldn't
right
work
down
on me.
the middle. No, absolutely not. Would not
Gee,
have worked on
thanks.
you. No,
Appreciate it.
that's a compliment. What are you talking about?
I know. No, I have had my hair split down the middle. I think once or twice during a haircut, and I do not like it at all.
You were blonde as a kid, though.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
yes, very blonde.
But your hair has always been way too curly to ever pull that off.
For those of you that don't know what I look like, I don't have curly hair, but okay.
It's kind of tight.
Curly.
It's very wavy. Yeah,
it's wavy. Curly and wavy are different.
Well, it's still
curly makes me think makes people think I've got like Albert Brooks curls or some shit. I don't have that kind of hair. It is wavy. I have always had the wave haircut.
Yes, you would never ever be able to have the flat, straight Leonardo DiCaprio split down the middle haircut. That's all I'm saying.
No, definitely
Your
not.
hair does not work
okay.
that way.
No.
Anyway,
moving on.
the last person I want to talk about who plays a role in this movie is Sandra Oh from
Oh yeah, that's right.
Grey's Anatomy and Killing Eve and Sideways.
Sideways, indeed.
And more recently, Good Fortune, the one with Keanu Reeves that came out this year.
Yes. Yeah, she was. She was also the voice of the mother in Turning Red. And
yes.
I really liked her as that character as well. I thought she was great.
And she's also in Quiz Lady with Awkwafina and Will Ferrell that I still think you should watch, even though you don't like those actors.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
It's a good movie.
All right.
Anyway, she plays the principal, and she's great in this movie too. And so there is a great cast of supporting characters around Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews to really make this movie as rich and wonderful and hilarious as it is. And so over these couple weeks that we're following Mia, she's going through a lot of changes and trying to figure out the best decision for her, her family, and the people of Genovia, as well as navigating high school now that she's gotten more popular, and that's creating some tension with her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this wonderful story of a girl in high school who's growing up with this added crazy responsibility of being royalty.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. I think it's hilarious. I love that Gary Marshall directed it because he's such a wonderful director when it comes to female empowerment movies, when it comes to sweet stories. He's
really
just
is.
so good at helming these types of films.
Yeah.
And I love that I picked a movie of his before with Overboard. It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
He also directed Beaches, Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride, and the sequel to this movie, The Princess Diaries 2.
Oh, nice.
And Gina Wenkos adapted the screenplay for this film, and I love that both of our movies had female scriptwriters.
Yes.
The only other movie that I really recognize from her filmography, though, is Coyote Ugly. She did not write the sequel. And
interesting.
And so that is the story of The Princess Diaries. I highly recommend it, even though I would argue that the sequel's better.
Ooh, all right. I think I've seen the sequel one time.
Okay, well, I think I should put it
remember
on our list when it comes to sequel episodes.
Yeah, why not? No, I'm definitely down to watch it.
Chris Pine is in that movie, and he is adorable.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I would love to hear... Oh, and it's also co-produced by Whitney Houston.
What?
Yeah, you didn't see that credit at the beginning?
I did not. Well, I'll be honest. I was in the shower when Amy started it, and I got back out of the shower, and it was on. I think she was like 10 minutes in. She goes, "Do you want to go somewhere?" Like, let's watch Princess Diaries. Let's watch it.
Nice.
I had not watched it in a long time, so I missed the first like 4 minutes. But
Yeah, that's
still.
fine. It was just introducing Mia, and she was getting ready for school. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
And she's on an electric scooter.
Yes, she is.
So yes, I would love to hear about your revisit of The Princess Diaries and if you enjoyed your rewatch.
Yeah, let's get into it. I certainly did enjoy my rewatch. I thought this movie was from like 2005, but it's 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing the trailer. I don't remember what movie it was, but my buddy Kingsley and I went and saw a movie, as we always did, and this trailer popped up. And, of course, the reveal of Anne Hathaway when she's made up, we were both like, all right, we're going to see this movie. And we did not go to theaters for it, but we did, I think, one night rented it with our other buddies because we would every now and then rent a lot of Disney movies. And we had this weird thing where we would kind of cast ourselves in the movie. And for whatever reason, it was a really weird thing that we did in high school. But Princess Diaries was one of those movies. And I remember when it ended, everybody was kind of like, that actually was not as bad as that could have been. Like, you look at a movie like that and you're kind of like, this is going to be either really, really stupid or it could be good. And thankfully, it ended up on the good side.
That's Gary Marshall for you, though, because another director, it could have gone a
you never know
way.
what could have completely happened to that movie. Like I said, just recently watched it in September on our last Disney cruise, and I laughed a lot, and I forgot so much about it. I think that was my first rewatch in maybe almost 10 years.
Okay.
I know we have the VHS of it because Amy's a big fan of it. Amy does not like Anne Hathaway, but she likes this movie.
What?
And yeah, she's not an Anne Hathaway fan, which is interesting because she likes a lot of movies with Anne Hathaway.
There's such a weird hatred for Anne Hathaway over the last 10 years.
It really is. Yeah, it is.
She's done absolutely nothing wrong. There's no stories in the press about her being awful to anyone.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is, but
it's weird.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, the movie certainly makes me laugh, and gotta love Julie Andrews and, of course, Larry Miller. And Sandra Oh's few minutes in the movie are great. I love when they're in the principal's office with all of them, and Julie Andrews says to, I think it's Hector Elizondo, like, take this fine educator out of here. And Sandra Oh's just like fawning over. She's like, oh my gosh, that scene always cracks me up. And overall, just the way it ends is very sweet, and it's not like shoved down your throat. And of course, Mandy Moore, you're just like, damn, what a biatch, like just insane. And of course, she's trying to play off as like, oh, we're friends now, and then she totally like that whole press thing. She's like, oh, well, we're best friends. We do this together, and da 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 da.
Classic,
like, bitch. Like, yeah, totally. It's like in The Spy Who Dumped Me, like at the end of the movie when the one friend is being interviewed. And she's just like going off and like, well, we were best friends forever, and now like, that whole thing, that whole trope, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the girl that plays her best friend? Because she's been in a bunch of stuff too.
She has. I really only recognized her from
one of those. Oh no, she's in Sorority Boys with the dude from Seventh Heaven, Michael Rosenbaum, and Harlan Williams. She's in the sorority that they get accepted into. And I remember her in that movie, especially when they're doing the gravity bong with Harlan Williams in the background.
Well, her name is Heather Matazzaro. She's also in Saved. She's also in a couple of the Scream movies as the little sister of one of the main characters from the first movie that actually had gotten killed.
Oh, no way.
Jamie Kennedy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do not remember her in Scream at all.
Yeah, she's been in 2 of the sequel movies out of the series.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, so not the first movie.
No.
Oh,
she
God,
shows
okay.
up in like
where
Scream,
is she in Scream
3 and Scream 5 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Got it. Alrighty.
She's also
That
in
makes
Hostel
sense.
Part 2.
I never saw Hostel 2.
Oh, okay. And
I saw Hostel, but I didn't see the second one.
She's also in The Devil's Advocate.
Is she?
Yeah, she
Interesting.
played
I've
a
seen
small
that
part
movie
in that.
one time.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So yeah, she's popped up here and there. She's one of those people that you recognize, but you can't remember where. But she's
very unique looking.
She is, and she's had a very steady career over the last 25 years. So that's great.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So yeah, overall, I definitely enjoy the movie. I look forward to seeing the sequel in the future. And
good.
The whole, there's so many great scenarios in this movie. Of course, the whole dinner with all the other world leaders is a great sequence as well. And it's a very enjoyable movie, and I think it paired very well with Anastasia this week.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. And yes, that dinner scene is not only hilarious, but very relatable. I love everything about Mia in this movie because so many of us could be like, oh yeah, that would totally happen to me too.
Yep.
At one point, she not only spills something, but she also sets something on fire. Like, there's a lot of things that's happened, but nothing is ever over the top in this movie. And I think that's why it's so good, is that there's so much grounding in it. Even though, yes, it's a bit fantastical, it's still believable, like this could actually happen, right?
Oh, for sure.
And everything she does, everything that happens to her is very believable as well. And there's so many instances, especially when she's in high school, where you're like, oh yeah, people were like that to me in high school, or people
1,000%.
I saw people being like that to others in high school. So yes, and in that dinner scene, one of the waiters says to Mia, "Oh, it's okay, it happens all the time." That's the same actor from Pretty Woman who tells Julia Roberts, "Oh, don't worry, it happens all the time," when she slips with the snail. And so Gary Marshall hired the same guy to say the same line.
Very cool.
11 years later, which I thought was so cool.
That's badass.
Yeah. And I use that line whenever I'm in a restaurant with my sisters and something bad happens. I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, dear. It happens all the time." But yes, and I thought Anne Hathaway was perfect for this role. I think even though she's gorgeous in real life. Speaking of, a good example of that is in Ocean's 8. But she still had, especially as a kid, she had this realism to her that was very relatable as well. So I think the casting was important. And during auditions, she actually fell out of her chair, which helped make her a front runner. But Gary Marshall had all of the auditions for the actresses taped, as so many directors do. And he showed his granddaughters the audition tapes for the finalists. And they actually appear in the movie as the two little blonde girls who ask her for an autograph.
Oh, cool.
And they told their grandfather that he should hire Anne Hathaway because she has good princess hair. Which was so cute.
That's very cute.
And accurate.
Yes.
And the scene, and this is a very classic piece of trivia from this movie that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of already before, but the scene where Mia is on the bleachers outside, and it has just after it had been raining, and she slips and falls and on her ass.
Yes.
It really happened, and they kept it in the film.
Oh, all right. Happy accidents.
Yes. And during that scene at the dinner, when Anne Hathaway panics and throws a glass of water on the thing that's on fire, that wasn't scripted either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Don't want to burn the set down.
No, absolutely. And the picture of her deceased father and the man who plays her father in flashbacks in this movie is her real life father.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Which I thought was so sweet given the fact that it was her first movie ever.
Yeah, that is very neat.
And they also used her real life cat for Fat Louie.
Yeah. Fat Louie.
Which
I have a Fat Louie cat.
It's what I'm going
to
call King Louie whenever I'm at your house moving
next time
forward.
you see him, Fat Louie.
Yeah.
You hear that, King Louie? You're fatty.
But they did hire a couple other cats as well because they needed one for her to carry, which was her cat. But then another one that could sit still, could jump, and the last one who sits on the envelope prompted. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
But isn't that awesome that they held auditions for cats that looked like her real cat?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And there are a couple other family members of various people in this movie, too. Charlotte, who plays Queen Rinaldi's assistant... She's played. Oh yeah. She's blonde. She's got a bob. She is played by Kathleen Marshall, who is Gary Marshall's daughter. And then
very cool.
The little girl with cute little tiara, who plays the Prime Minister of Genovia's little daughter. She's super cute at the state dinner.
Mm-hmm.
She is actually Hector Elizondo's granddaughter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So everybody's family was on set.
Family affair.
Yeah, it was so cute. Gary Marshall has confessed that all of the movie crew asked to go down the fireman's pole at that set.
Oh, of course.
Which, of course,
do the
you
same
and I
thing.
both would have totally done that, yeah.
It's like in Wayne's World too.
Yeah.
At the same time. That's great.
Yeah. And at one point they show the Genovian Palace, and that is actually a castle called Longford Castle, located in Wiltshire, England.
Hey, all right.
I totally want to visit it. It's a cool looking castle.
Oh, yeah. Any castle would, man. I've visited Neuschwanstein. I've been in that castle. And I think that's actually the only castle I've ever been in.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about that castle.
I was there in 2005, so that
wow.
was 20 freaking years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which hurts, but it was still pretty incredible. I certainly wish I had a better camera at the time. I don't
Do you have
a
a little
lot of
disposable
pictures.
film one?
Oh yeah, totally. Wind up,
Yeah,
Kodak, $16.99. Extra 2 pieces of film at the end.
Yeah.
1 hour photo.
Oh, I really want to explain to kids today how you used to have to wait for photos. And if you took bad shots, you A, didn't know about it, and B, were completely wasting your money.
Yep, you were. I don't know how many cameras I bought for proms and homecomings and parties that literally the photos come out with just a streak because everybody's just so crazy. Nobody could stand still.
Well, and the lighting had to be really perfect too. And I remember I was a young teen. I was maybe 14, and there was a baby skunk in our orchard. And I thought it was so cool. I got so excited, I took an entire roll's worth of photos of the skunk. And I just remember my sisters giving me a really hard time that our dad had to pay to develop a roll of film for a skunk.
Yeah.
But going through some old stuff recently, I found 2 rolls of film that have not been developed. And you can send them in now, and I'm really excited. I have no idea what's on them.
You can send them in now. You can't even take them to Walgreens anymore. That's crazy.
Well, they send them out too. So, because I stopped by CVS and I was like, "Hey, do you guys still develop film?" And they're like, "No."
The guy behind the counter is like, "What's film?"
Yeah, exactly. No, they said, "But here's some envelopes. You can actually send them in." And so, yeah, that's how you can do it now. So I'm going to, and I'm very excited to see what's on them.
So curious.
Yes.
And another thing about those wind-up Kodaks, there were ones that didn't have a flash. So if you wanted the flash, you had to spend like another $3.
Yes.
And you had to wait for the for like the flash to load. It's just like an old camera from like 1917 or some shit.
No, it just reminds me of the defibrillator with it's charging up.
Yeah, exactly. Time to take a picture.
Well, remember the underwater ones for snorkeling at camp?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, definitely. I think I brought 2 of those, and most of them are pictures of my freaking knees because I couldn't point the camera properly at the Garibaldi Nemo fish.
Yep.
She's like, that's my dad all the time. That's a great shot of your knee. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Dad. I did what I could. The tide was really strong that day.
I have a heart condition.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Knees and flippers. I remember those being the heavy-hitting photos.
Well, or just like halfway through the water, there's a bunch of water on the lens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, well, now that we've officially dated ourselves,
yes.
I'm going to share the very last piece of trivia from The Princess Diaries, which is
all right.
Julie Andrews' jewelry and tiara was $500,000 worth of real diamonds.
Wow.
On loan from Harry Winston. However, though Anne Hathaway's tiara was made specifically for her, it only used cubic zirconia.
Who's Harry Winston?
What?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't.
A very famous jewelry maker, specifically with engagement rings.
Okay, then no, I wouldn't know who that is. I'm thinking like there's some special effects hand that I should know. No, I don't know much about jewelry. All I know is every kiss begins with K, and he went to Jared. That's about it. I didn't buy any engagement ring like that, nor wedding ring. We did it all pretty third party.
You have ring pops, right?
No. I bought my engagement ring at Disneyland the morning I asked her to marry me, and then we got our wedding rings on an Etsy or something or other.
Does every kiss begin with Etsy too?
No, but we didn't have the money for me to. Every kiss begins with K.
No, diamonds are
stuff. Yeah,
we could totally get into it.
That was the cool thing is Amy
diamonds
didn't
are a
care
racket.
about.
Don't worry about it.
The diamond thing.
I always said no to diamonds too, so no worries. Yeah. I totally respect that. Anyway, so that is The Princess Diaries that came out in 2001 starring Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews. It had a budget of $26 million.
Damn.
The budget was half of yours.
Yeah. Did the budget go? Did 20 million of it go to Julie Andrews?
It should have.
I wonder what she got paid for Princess Diaries. Sometimes you can find that on IMDb, but I think they've stopped doing that.
They stopped doing that about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not crazy. I would always see I remember going through Shia LaBeouf's once around the second Transformers movie, and he got like $250,000 for Disturbia, and then like $500,000 for the first Transformers,
and then like $10 million for the second one.
Yeah, like so much. Crazy.
But on a $26 million budget, it grossed $102 million in the United States.
Wow.
$165 million worldwide.
That is a very good gross.
It really is, which is another reason why they made a sequel.
Yeah, makes sense.
And because
I remember the poster. She's wearing sunglasses and got headphones on or something like that.
But because she's been a Disney princess from the beginning, you can stream the Princess Diaries 1 and 2 on Disney+.
Perfect.
Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed revisiting this film.
Oh yeah, it is a revisitable film for sure.
It really is. So those are our princess movie picks for the week. John, would you watch Anastasia with your grandma?
Oh, absolutely. I might even have at one point or another when I was a lot younger.
Rasputin's twisted enough where she'd probably like it.
Yeah, definitely. And V, with your pick of Princess Diaries, would you watch that with your grandma?
I absolutely would. These are very tame films for the most part, and certainly could be watched by anyone like 8 or above.
I think I think both of our movies are G-rated this week.
I think so too, and
yeah.
I like that they are both consumable by adults too, and have enough of the jokes and continuity with the plot and good performances that adults would really enjoy them.
Definitely.
Including the two of us.
Yeah.
So now that we've discussed our Disney movie princesses this week, John, do you want to tell the fine folks who are listening in what we've decided to do for a topic next week?
Oh, yes. We are going to do movies starring the bad boy Australian Russell Crowe.
And not Gladiator.
Definitely not Gladiator. That'll never be a pick of mine, ever.
I don't know if it'll ever be a pick of mine other than for the soundtrack, because it's so good. But
is it?
As all of you know, yes, it's very, very good. But as all of you know, we love to pick underrated or forgotten movies, and that includes when we pick movies from an actor's filmography.
And I've been a Russell Crowe fan for a while. I think my pick actually was the one that really set me off to Russell Crowe, because I, again, am not a Gladiator fan, and Gladiator came out in 2001.
I've been a fan of his since The Insider, and thought he'd...
Ooh, that's a good one.
And A Beautiful Mind, which both were...
Beautiful Mind. That's true,
Gladiator. Yeah.
I actually didn't like A Beautiful Mind the first time I saw it. I was kind of dragged to it, and then I saw it, I think, a year later and was like, wow, that is a movie.
It really is. And when he won his Oscar for Gladiator, so many of us were like, they just gave it to him to make up for the fact that he didn't win for The Insider, which he deserved.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, The Insider is a great flick. Al Pacino is great in that movie.
That is probably a movie we'll have on the podcast at some point.
Highly. You know, we can, it would be an interesting pairing, but you can do The Insider and I'll do Thank You for Smoking.
I watched that movie with my dad.
I watched that movie with my mom.
Oh, God. We're both probably thinking of that sex scene.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
But I remember my mom actually liked Thank You for Smoking.
So did my dad.
Movie.
Yeah, my dad thought it was hilarious.
It's really funny.
But for the next episode's Russell Crowe movies, The Insider is not one of the ones we picked. John, do you want to tell everybody what you picked?
Yes, I do. I picked a movie from 2003. This film is based off of a series of books by Patrick O'Brien. The screenplay for my movie is written by Peter Weir and John Coley, directed by Peter Weir, starring Russell Crowe, Paul Bettany, Billy Boyd, James Darcy, Max Pirkus, and a whole handful of phenomenal character actors. This is Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. And if you care to follow along...
So underrated. Sorry.
Absolutely criminally underrated. Another criminally underrated movie pick of mine. If you've not seen this movie, it is available on Amazon Prime. I watched my Blu-ray copy. The 4K just came out, and it's on Steelbook, and it is already sold out. So I'm going to have to wait for another drop of that, but be prepared.
I believe I'm going to be watching my father's DVD copy of that film, which is a rarity on this podcast.
My father also has a DVD copy because I bought it for him after we saw it. I think it was that Christmas. My dad and I went and saw it in theaters. Both loved it. Can't wait to bring it to the podcast.
Oh, hi, Fat Louie.
There he is.
He's crawling around.
And V, what Russell Crowe flick did you pick?
I picked a movie that is a little more rated.
Yes.
It certainly was a little bit more popular at the time, and including getting a couple of Oscar noms, if I remember correctly, which I will research before next week's episode.
Yes.
I chose a movie starring not only Russell Crowe, but also Renee Zellweger and Paul Giamatti. This is Cinderella Man.
Nice.
And both movies are based on true stories.
Yes, they are.
Unfortunately, no streaming service has my movie right now, so you can rent it for $3.99 from most places.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this lovely princess episode. I don't think a princess episode should ever happen without Julie Andrews. Just throwing that out there. I know,
right?
It just feels wrong. But thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you had a good time, and please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast at any of the podcast apps that you use. And please tell all your friends and family. It's the holidays. You're spending more time with them. We would really appreciate you recommending our podcast to any of them. Do that while you're hanging out with your family, please. We'd really appreciate it. We're always looking for new listeners and new feedback and questions from any of you. So please feel free to reach out anytime. Always happy to hear from any of you.
Mm-hmm.
And until next Wednesday, we're going to close out with film is a form of art, and in art, every opinion is valid, except if you think
Anastasia deserves to be forgotten.
it really is one of those forgotten princess animated films. I'm really so happy that you brought it to the podcast.
Glad you enjoyed it as well. Get on it, people. Watch it.
All right, everyone. Until next week. Bye-bye.
Cheers, everybody.